All right, guys, too much happened in week 2. My brain's cooked. Let's just get this thing going. Let's move on to week 3. Here's your power rankings for this week. And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fun NFL. Please like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed the NFL Week 3 power rankings after a wild week, mostly Sunday, of football. We saw some crazy performances. We saw some bad injuries that will definitely result in some, there's some good movement in these power rankings. But other than that, there's I'm not gonna act like there's like tons of huge drastic movement, but there's definitely some, to say the least. Some teams that again got wins really didn't matter because your quarterback's gone, Bengals. But anyway, let's get right into it. Again, if you didn't know, the best team in the NFL goes to number 1, the worst goes to number 32. If you have any opinions, issues, problems with these rankings, please put them in the comment section below so I can see them. Yeah, that's what I got there. With that said, at number 32. We do have the Cleveland Browns. They were like 30 or 31. I don't know. They were pretty low last week, if I can find them. There we go. The reason they're this low this week is because they sucked. Defensively, they weren't actually that awful. But again, the fact they still gave up that many big plays to Lamar, against Lamar, is just crazy. The offense was awful. Overall, again, I understand they had some decent plays, but it really doesn't matter when, again, you get blown out by that. Again, you're expecting them to lose the Ravens, but that was just a very disheartening performance, especially after what we saw in week 1, where they choked a game where they should have won as well. So, just not very encouraging performances by the Browns. We know they're one of the worst teams in the league, but I think right now they're the worst after that performance. Number 31, give me the Jets. That was the worst performance by any NFL team this week. There were definitely some blowouts, but that was probably the worst one. On top of the fact that, again, Justin Fields might not even play this week, so that's a big issue with Tyrod Taylor there. I don't think this Jets team's too bad, but again, the fact they gave such a lifeless offensive performance against the Bills, again, it just doesn't sit well with me. I don't care that they're probably a better team than maybe a couple teams above them. Their defense didn't show up either, so play better next week, maybe you go up. That was a very bad performance, especially after a game you scored, 32 points against the Steelers. Again, you still lost, but still. Number 30, give me the Titans. They didn't look, again, me watching them in first person, all of that. Again, not really first person, but getting to watch a lot of their game, just straight up live, as well as watching a lot of the film as well. This Titans team is just very undisciplined. Their coach doesn't really know what he's doing, and they kept it close for a while though, so I'll give them that credit. Their defense isn't that bad, but like I said, the offense just again really limited with what Cam is again being allowed to do right now. I liked what I saw in the running game though overall in terms of the efficiency. So again, if that can continue to grow, that would be a good supplemental thing for them. But at the same time, again, we know this is a Titans team that will struggle to compete with the really good teams. Number 29. Bears have to be here. I don't think they're actually this bad in terms of talent, but their defense literally gave up 52 points. It didn't have a single pressure, and Ben Johnson got absolutely embarrassed. I don't think Caleb was completely terrible, but he was not good. This Bears team just, again, absolutely horrid performance. I don't expect the same thing again in their game against the Cowboys next week, but who knows what will happen. But yeah, not a good performance in week 2. 28. Give me the Saints. They at least keep their games close. Again, I get both games were at home, but that wasn't really, again, you look at it. They're like just a couple plays short against both the Cardinals and Niners. I don't think the Cardinals and Niners are one of the best teams in football, though. I don't think again, Saints, they've been competitive the first 2 weeks, which, again, all these other 4 teams really haven't been at times. So good for them, at least. They've been able to, again, battle back. But at the same time, we're not looking at the Saints, again, as a team that are going to be very good. But, again, solid performance. I wasn't expecting them to play that way against the Niners. So good job, I guess. 27, give me the Dolphins. They are just a team that give me bad vibes. Week 1, they didn't show up on offense. Their defense also struggled. Last week, they really weren't too much better on defensively, but at least their offense put up some big points. I think that was mostly because of Tyreek Hill. But until Tua really puts together a complete game, I don't know if they're going to be any higher than this into the season, especially considering who they're playing on Thursday. But again, if they at least show up in that one, they might even go up because, again, they're considering who they are playing. Thursday Night Football prediction. That's coming tomorrow, though. 26. Give me the Panthers. They probably would be one of the worst teams, or one of my lowest ranked teams if they didn't make that comeback. Defensively, they were very good after really that half even. But again, with the fact that offense took that long to get going, they really have no downfield threat as a receiver other than Tet McMillan. And the fact that, again, they didn't really show up in week 1 offensively either are just not good things for me. But at the same time, Bryce had a much better second half. Hopefully they can, again, put together a complete performance against the Falcons next week. Number 25, I got the Giants. Cool, Russ threw for 450 yards. This team still can't win. That is a game they should have won, obviously, but it didn't happen. Their defense, I'm not completely blaming either. I think this might be a little bit low for the Giants, but I don't know if that offense consistency is really there, because we're probably going to get somewhere in between what we saw against the Commanders and what we saw against the Cowboys, but I really don't know. That was an absolutely crazy game, though, between the Giants and Cowboys. I'd want to put them higher, but realistically, I don't think I can do that with them being 0-2, and also, again, considering who they're playing next week. So, I don't think that, again, Brian Daboll should be in too much trouble, at least at this moment. But, yeah, that was a really, again, disappointing ending to that game. Number 24, we have the Raiders. I wanted to put them higher because I think their defense is actually pretty solid, but their offense just last week was so bad, or yesterday, now I think about it, was so bad, or 2 days ago, that I don't really know where else to put them than here, guys. They're not really a team you look at to be the most talented, but they had a decent game last week, or 2 weeks ago. But at the same time, again, it was against the Patriots, so I'm not, like, thinking they're, like, a bad team by any means, but, like, that wasn't a great performance. Especially, again, considering the offense. Jags, I'm going to put at 22, 23. I think it was just, again, like I said a couple times now, a missed opportunity. If you go watch the highlights and the takeaways I have from that game between the Jags and Bengals, again, they absolutely should have won that one. I'm not going to go too crazy because, again, it was one game, and, again, all teams have their, blow their games. But at the same time, that was when they should have won. And, again, especially with what Liam Cohen did and the questionable play calling, I think there's definitely something there, again, coming into week 3. 22, I got the Patriots. Again, the reason they're ahead of the Raiders is because I think actually offensively they project a little bit better. I understand the Raiders beat them 2 weeks ago, which honestly makes me want to redo this. But still, you know what? We're going to be nice. We're going to do this. Switch the Patriots and Raiders. Again, I'm going rogue here. But for the Patriots, again, I think them and the Raiders are a pretty even team, but Drake May had a much better week overall. Gonna get stutter. I get it was against the Dolphins defense, but still, much better game. Defensively, they closed it out late. And again, I'm not a fan of what they're doing there, but at the same time, it's working somewhat, so give them some credit there. Number 21, give me the Bengals. Joe Burrow's probably out until the end of the regular season, unless 3 months is like, I don't know, early January, who knows. But Jake Browning is a guy who I think is capable enough to move this offense. But like I said, if they're not in a rhythm, there will be games where the offense just completely sucks. And I don't really know if this defense is even that good. So just not really good things. Great, they started out 2-0, but how much does that really mean? Again, they could even be 3-0 if we look at who they're playing next week. Number 19, I am gonna go with the Seahawks. No, I'm going to go with the Vikings. I changed my mind. I'm going rogue again. Vikings, they've lost J.J. McCarthy for 2 to 4 weeks, probably more like 4 weeks now that high ankle sprain has really been confirmed. Carson Wentz is their starting quarterback now, which is just absolutely absurd. He might be better than J.J. McCarthy, who, again, I actually have really not too much faith in. I don't want to put like too much blame on him, but that was just not a very good performance at all. The Vikings have really relied on a fourth quarter defensive implosion on the Bears, and that's really the only reason they're 1-1 right now. That was a very bad offensive performance. Their defense is still pretty solid, but I don't think they're anything crazy. And then again, the fact that these getting Jordan Addison back will be a big thing, but again, the Vikings just aren't really giving me much right now. And again, the fact they haven't really been good offensively the first 2 games are just big issues. Number 19, or really consistent. There we go. Number 19, I'll put the Seahawks. They've given me 2 very mixed performances. I think there was a lot of luck involved in their win against the Steelers, but overall, that offense looked a lot better. But still, defensively, they got some issues. I still think they are a decent team, but I don't know if they're really, again, one of those like higher end meh teams. Number 18, got the Cardinals. They should not have won. I might actually switch to Seahawks because again, they at least got a decent win. But the Cardinals, they are 2-0. I understand that, but they played the Saints and Panthers. Neither one of those teams people think are people regard as very good. They should have lost last week as well, considering how bad they played late. But they still can figure out a way to win. But again, if you're a Cardinals fan, I wouldn't be too concerned at the moment. But still, that was not a very. All right, at number 17, I have the. Who do we got at 17? We got the Vikings. No, that's the Steelers, right? Yeah. 17, I have the Steelers, which you might be like, how are they ahead of the Seahawks? Well, right now, again, I think that the Steelers just going in, like, are just a straight up better team. I think that they're very, very similar, but their defense, despite, again, a lot of concerns from people, I think are going to be better. There's no way they're not going to be better, but it was definitely a concerning first 2 weeks. Defensively, though, offensively, my bad. They're definitely a flawed group, but I do trust Aaron Rodgers can get that group a little bit more of an identity than maybe what we'll see with Sam Darnold, but still, very similar teams. You could definitely flip these two, but I think they're, again, interchangeable here at 17-18. I just think the Steelers right now, despite losing, are a more talented team. Number 16, I do have the Colts. Yep, Colts, they're probably too high. They'll probably be lower next week, but who knows? They got the Titans on the road. They had a big win against the Broncos the last week. Daniel Jones might be legit. Is he? We really don't know, but he looked legit. And the fact, again, their offense is not punted yet. It's just absolutely crazy as well. Defensively, they have a lot of playmakers in that group, and they're all really showing out right now. A couple young guys are blossoming as well. Really, everything has gone right for the Colts so far this season. Number 15, I do have the Cowboys. Their defense has been burnt toast and trash. Again, secondary's been burnt toast. Their defense has been trash. Was trash last week. There's just really no way around that. But again, the fact they were able to close that one out was huge. Brandon Aubrey's the best kicker in football. The Cowboys offense, I think, is going to be very, very good this year. And will be very, very hard to stop. But again, at the same time, until their defense really plays better and they play a good team, we really can't put them too high. Number 14, I have the Texans. I wanted to put them lower. They're the highest 0-2 team, obviously. No, they're not. There's another 0-2 team. But still, I don't think they haven't really played entirely bad, but offensively, there is definitely a little bit of a lack of juice there. And until that really changes, how can you put them any higher than this? But yes, their defense is still very, very good. They didn't have their A game against the Bucs, though. I would like to see them step it up against the Jags and really put, again, a good performance on there. If they're able to do that, they'll have to go higher up, but I'm not out in the Texans by any means there. Number 13, I have the Falcons. Their defense is very, very fun. Are they really good? Probably not, but they are very, very fun. Offensively, they dictated that game pretty well, despite maybe not having the same, point results that you would have wanted. But again, still very, very controlling game. I would like to see them next week put up a very, very good offensive performance. That would definitely help them out. Michael Penix, we really don't know how good he actually is yet, but he has put up together two very decent performances. And again, the running game looks really, really good, as again you would expect it to. O-line has been solid. And again, the defense, like I said, is very, very fun and something that I'm really looking forward to watch week after week. Number 12, Broncos. They're this high because they're a very talented football team. They have a very good defense. But last week, they were just straight up bad. Bo Nix has really no excuses for the mistakes he's making right now. Again, similar to Tua, he's got to clean those up. Sean Payton has a lot of work to do, again, to become a better coach because he just simply has not coached well the first 2 weeks. They should have, again, they didn't play well against the Titans. Last week, they blew that game against the Colts. Whether they should have won or lost, again, you can just really talk about that all you want. But again, 570 yards, losing the turnover battle, you shouldn't be winning that game. Defense has a lot of stuff to prove next week. But we'll see again if they go into the Chargers' house. Not really. They're playing at SoFi. But still, go in there and, again, make a statement. Probably not, though. Anyway, though, at 11, I have the Commanders. I wanted to put them higher because I don't think they're a bad team. But again, the fact that, again, Jane Daniels has been dealing with that injury. And Jane Daniels, yeah. And the fact that their defense really wasn't that great as well at all last week either. And again, them losing Austin Ekeler, I think those are just a couple big losses that I don't really want to commit too much to just yet. But at the same time, they're still again a very good, pretty solid team. Again, they just didn't really show up against the Packers in a lot of ways. And until they play better against a team like that, I don't really know where you can put them higher than this. But they're still again obviously a playoff team. We'll see what happens next week though. Number 10. We do have the Niners. They didn't play a very good game at all against the Saints. But again, the fact that Mac Jones was in, and also that their defense didn't have their A game, I think it was a pretty decent win. Next week, though, we'll really see how good they are when they play the Cardinals again, especially with the backups in and stuff. With again Luke Farrell starting and Brock being out another week. Number 9, I have the Chiefs. I couldn't really put them too much lower than this. They still didn't play bad, but their offense just really doesn't have much outside of, again, Mahomes scrambling right now, which, again, is a massive issue. The O-line just doesn't really look that great. Josh Simmons is yet to really, really get his footing. Literally and figuratively. Defensively, though, they haven't really looked the same either. They were actually pretty decent, again, as overall, in consideration to week 1, but still, or in comparison, but they could definitely do a lot better than what we saw last week. Still at the same time though, very good shot at getting the first one against the Giants next week. Number 8, who do we have? I think I have the Bucks, maybe? Do we have the Bucks today? I do have the Bucks today. They haven't really been impressive the first 2 weeks, but it really doesn't matter because, again, they've been able to close those 2 games out. I will be interesting to see, again, how they'll, play in their first home game against the Jets. Hopefully they can play a little bit more offensively inclined. We'll see if that actually happens, though. I would like to see their offense, become a little bit more consistent throughout the game. Put some drives together. Number 7, give me the Lions. Their offense was absolutely crazy last week, but really don't know how much is that really going to, again, be throughout the entire season. They looked really good in one game, really bad in the other game. Defense has actually been pretty consistent, though, which I think is a good thing. But at the same time, this is a Lions offense we're still trying to figure out, and we'll definitely get a little bit more as they go to Baltimore next week. That'll be a fun game. Number 6, give me the Chargers. The Chargers have looked really good so far this season. Their defense has been, again, in my opinion, the best in the NFL. But still, offensively, there's definitely some missing strings there, even though they've been pretty complete overall. Again, but until those things are together, I can't really go too crazy on them. And I also think they haven't really played. They've been playing good, very impressive. They definitely deserve to be this high, but I don't really know if they're going to truly this good. We'll see what happens though. Number 5, give me the Packers. They have been probably the most sturdy team in the NFC so far. I just don't know if they're going to be able to continue throughout the entire season. Good start, good hot start to the season. I'm just not I'm not a big believer in this being the actual Packers team. We'll see what happens though. They've looked very, very good, obviously. Number 4, give me the Rams. Again, I think they have the best roster in the NFL. They have defensively, despite again not a great first half against the Titans, were able to put it together in those fourth quarters. Losing Ahkello Witherspoon is a big, big, big deal, but Again, I think they'll be able to match things up. Again, they signed Trey Brown, former Seattle Seahawk. Again, I think they'll definitely patch those things up. And also the offense, again, I think be a little bit more, two-dimensional. That'll be huge. Number 3, the only team in the NFC I have over the Rams, the Eagles, who they are playing this week. The Eagles have not looked great, but the fact, again, they still won both of those games are pretty good. The running game still looks decent. Again, it's just that connect really, again, be stimulated against the Rams team, who, again, Saquon has completely dominated the past 2 times they've met them. That was, of course, both last season. Jalen Hurts is not a good passer, though. Again, I don't even think he's top half of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now, which, again, I wouldn't even say is a hot take. And you watch him throw. Again, it's just not true. Then again, he's top half. But anyway, defensively, they've still looked really good. They're definitely going to test against the Rams, though. Number 2, give me the Ravens. They looked really good. They blew up the Browns. I don't think it was, again, a true blowout, but still, they figured it out. Yeah, they're really freaking good. Number 1, we got the Bills, because they have looked just not really human. They just completely dismantled the Jets. Outside of, again, the fact they made that huge comeback, they are the best team in the NFL right now. They look very impressive. But yeah, we'll see what they can do against the Dolphins on Thursday night, which is tomorrow. Get ready for that preview. And that is all I got for you guys there. Hope you guys enjoyed the Power Rankings. Like I said, if you have any disagreements, any sort of gripes, put those in the comment section below. And until the Bills and Dolphins preview tomorrow, see ya.
Silver in motion for a 3rd time in a row. It's Minicucci. This time he finds the end zone. Nick Minicucci wins it for Delaware. Welcome back. FBS football inside at Delaware Stadium. The blue and gold victorious. Let's watch it again. And again if you're Blue Hens faithful. Well, Minicucci. It's something.